एक टॉयलेट डिजाइन किया, वो सियाचिन ग्लेशियर में यूज किया जाएगा। तो डीआरडीओ का मॉडल क्यों नहीं सारा देश में फैला जाए? ये बोल रहे हैं कि 4,000 रुपया आप देंगे, लेकिन एक टॉयलेट बनाने में बायो टॉयलेट कम से कम 20-25 हजार रुपये, तो आप उसके कुछ इंतजाम कीजिए। तो मैं चौधरी वीरेंद्र सिंह को कहने चाहते हैं, आप बहुत बड़ा जाट नेता का परिवार से आते हैं, किसानों का लीडर है और जाटों में लीडर है। सर छोटू राम बहुत बड़ा नेता था, लेकिन आप कुछ करके देखिए। सर छोटू राम जैसा साहस दिखाइए और ये मिनिस्ट्री के लिए और बजट लाइए। आप केवल अभी लगे हुए हैं कैसे वो लैंड बिल लाएंगे और बड़े लोगों को जमीन दे देंगे, ये आपको काम नहीं है। लोगों को सच पानी दीजिए और सच भारत दीजिए। इसी के साथ सर मैं ये बजट का विरोध करता हूँ।
Sir, thank you for allowing me to speak on the ongoing discussion on demands for grants general for 2015-16 under the control of the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation. The attendance in the House proves that most of our very revered and respected members probably do not give much importance to this subject, and it is a pity because this, I believe, is something very important for this nation. I did not give a cut motion primarily because I believe that a government which without any rhyme or reason has cut down nearly 50% of the budget from this very, very vital life-saving, humanity exists, not life-saving, but humanity exists on water. It has cut down 50% of the budget and very easily says that the states, that is what the new word that has come about, devolution. Apart from Vikas, there is also devolution. So there is devolution to the states, and the states will create the revolution. So you pass on the buck for others to create the revolution, which is fine. So I thought even cutting 1 rupee from this budget would be a criminal act on my part, and I refrained. If you browse to the demands for grants of this year, sir, you will notice that sectors like coal, steel, infrastructure, power, all these have got a lot of money. Whereas very vital sectors like health, HRD, the one we are talking about now, water, sanitation, sanitation I'll deal separately, water, this has not been thought fit enough to draw the attention of the government, and therefore we are left with the present scenario. Let me start with two very small instances of what has happened in our country and is happening, and what is happening at the international level. One night, the night of 15 May 2009, in a city called Bhopal, a family, the head of the family, Jeevan, his wife Sita, and their son Raju, they went to steal water because they were not getting water in an area called Shahjahanabad inside Bhopal town. And the neighbors of that area who spotted this family, they came armed with sticks and daggers and knives and beat this family till death. They killed them, all three, father, mother and son. This was for water, 2009, 15 May night. This is what happened, and this is the situation today after about 6-7 years across the nation. I do not know, maybe sub-Himalayan regions, there might still be enough sufficient water, but rest of the country, there is a terrible dearth of water, especially drinking water. My very learned colleagues have spoken about, professor has spoken, and colleague has spoken about arsenic poisoning, about fluoride, where my constituency, Angul, suffers a lot from fluoride because there is this plant of National Aluminium Company there, and they are merrily letting out their chemicals into the ground. And I will not go into those details because many people are very knowledgeable and they have given details about how many programs this government has carried out in the last 29 years and how many names have changed, and finally we have landed up with Swachh Bharat. But over a period of time, many programs and millions of, nowadays everybody is saying dollars, but millions and billions of rupees have gone into development of this sector. Where the money has gone, how it has been invested is anybody's guess. So this is one situation, one story of Bhopal that I just narrated. The other is, sir, you must be aware, the other terrible situation that is unfolding right now is in one of the biggest cities of Brazil called Sao Paulo, a city with nearly 20 million residents, has no water supply now. So much so that people are battling on the streets. Those who can access water are hoarding water for 10 days, 15 days. They are drinking and cooking and using stagnant water, thereby creating and multiplying waterborne diseases. And the interesting fact is, sir, we can laugh at it also, but the interesting fact is people have stopped using the toilets in their plush houses. The plush houses do not have the flush because there is no water. So instead of using the toilets, they are going out and defecating on the gutters along the roadside, hoping that if some household lets out water, all the dirt would get washed away. This is the situation in Sao Paulo as of today. And Sao Paulo is where? Brazil. What is Brazil? Brazil is the B of your BRICS, about which you are boasting. So it's the first letter of your BRICS nation, and this is what is happening in Brazil. And here in India, we are, after we come in the third position. Here we are sitting without any concern, without any plan or program on how we want to address the future of this country, how do we want to address the water problem, what do we want to do with it. The glaciers are melting, all the global warming, everything is very technical. I do not wish to get into that. But simple thing of how to store fresh water or how to use, how to make desalination plants, what can be possible with our resources. There is, broadly speaking, there is no water policy that the government has thought of. I am not talking about this BJP-led Damodar Das Modi government. I am talking about government in general. And they have never ever thought it necessary to think of what should be done with this huge problem. Yeah. Sir, it is known, it is said that rivers... Sir, it is said that rivers groom our civilizations and in return we doom them. Sir, it is not only the Ganga but the Indus, Euphrates, Tigris, Nile, Congo, Amazon, you name all of them. Yangtze Kiang, so many rivers. Human civilization has grown all along these rivers because we needed the water. And today we are destroying our rivers. We are doing that Ganga cleaning program, which is a sham. You are from the Ganga Kinare leader. You know nothing is happening. You are an honest man. You are a hard-working person. And you know that it's all a sham. It's all a show. Nothing is happening. With industrialization, okay, on one hand, we are talking about getting a nuclear plant from France. We are getting Rafale jets. Sir, have you heard of any other country in the world buying Rafale jets? Those that factory was actually going to close down in the next 2-3 months. Nobody in the world wanted to touch those fighter planes. We went round and round and landed plonk there where nobody else was buying. We wanted to buy that jet. We wanted to buy the defecated jets we are buying. And we are saying we will stop defecation. Sir, so I would just, the second point, and I would stop here. I would give the example. There is one little thing. I have a bias against Magsaysay award winners because they are always suspect in my eyes. But two people I must commend. One is Rajendra Singh, what he has done in Alwar, and another is our dear Anna Hazare Saab, who has worked wonders in Ralegaon Siddhi and is probably the lone sane voice against the land acquisition bill. I support him on that. We have to take models and we have to work, and these are two models of watershed development that the government should very seriously think, not play jokes, not push things around to the states and say they have to implement. There has to be a national policy. This is part one. Sir, part two is very short. Part two is sanitation. As I mentioned earlier, if in Brazil, rich people with toilets at home are compelled to go out and defecate on the streets, it is primarily because there is no water there. So your sanitation program is, it is clearly visible that it is a program that is going to die a sudden and a terrible death. Primarily because you are not planning the background for which you think one can consider that it will succeed. The need to focus, sir, the need to focus on eradication of open defecation are many. Open defecation is linked to the health of our children. It is linked to infant deaths due to diarrhea. It is linked to hygiene standards of our population. It is linked to the contamination of our drinking water. And it is also linked to the security of our women, like the Honorable Professor just mentioned. And because we are the largest democracy, we also, the onus is on us that we should perform better and we should show to ourselves. I am not talking about showing it to anybody outside, that we can perform. Unfortunately, for the past so many years after independence, we have not done anything. We have not even tried to change the habits of people by promoting a culture. I would like to thank you for allowing me this time, but I would only pray, sir, at the last moment, I would only pray that we have to correlate water preservation, supply of good, clean drinking water, non-polluted water to our population, and sanitation. If taken together, then your Swachh Bharat movement will be honestly successful. If not, you will only be taking money from the PSUs, and God knows where you will be spending it. Thank you so much, sir.